Welcome everyone to the What's Left podcast. John here with Jake and Brad. We are the punk rock garage band of podcast, adding our voice to resistance as loudly as we can here on the Devolution Nation Media Network. Guys, a lot to talk about. Two horrific tragedies happened this weekend. Um, Tate brothers moving closer and closer to seats of power in the United States. Never a good sign. Trump's building the Arc to Triumph. Um, Pretty sure he means arch, but who can tell? But all that, we gotta, before we get there though, like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Um, oh, where to start? Let's start with the sad news, the shootings. Um, First of all, here in the United States, at Brown University, there was a mass shooting. The President of the United States decided to uh, spread disinformation about the case before we had a suspect in custody. They now do have a person of interest, although not a suspect yet. Um, but he will likely face charges. Um, so the damn 389th um, mass shooting in the United States this year, which, believe it or not, is down for the year. So the uh, the problem in this country persists. Um, and I wanted but could not find clips of one of the Parkland shooting survivors who is running for Congress, Cam Caskey, in New York's 12th, because he always speaks with a lot of clarity on the way that this is all tied together, societal issues, right? Like this isn't like one crazy person grabbed a gun and just started shooting. Like that's part of the story, but that is not the entire story. It never is. There's a lot of societal problems that lead to these things. And to prove it, here are two survivors of this Brown University shooting who have already been through one as children. Um, the They are Zoe Weissman, who survived Parkland, and Mia Treader. They're both about 20 years old. But they've already done this once, and now they've done it twice. And this is not the first time that we've had survivors, childhood survivors, have to face the same consequences again. Guys, that's enough information for me for a minute. How about some thoughts?
That's the crazy thing. That should be like a statistical anomaly, like getting struck by lightning, to be
Mm,
involved in a lone shooting, in a lone mass casualty event or mass shooting, but to be involved in multiple, to be, an innocent bystander in multiple of them is insane. And the fact that it's statistically possible in the United States is disgusting.
yeah. Yeah, Jake, I know it's your entire generation really, but has been very outspoken anti-gun. But little has changed, obviously, and we're still facing another tragedy that looks just like the last tragedy.
hmm It's gonna keep continuing because nothing's actually being done to prevent them. I think Cam had a lot of great points that were just brushed aside by his interviewers. You kind of see him towards the end, like he was talking to a wall because he kind of was. But like things like just offering mental health, not allowing assault rifles. That should not be normal day purchases for any human being. He said, I
Yeah.
think the statistics was like people usually after arrested were buying guns from other states and bringing them back to other states. So obviously, the things you have in place to protect people aren't working in the first place. So like, there's a lot of issues that are just being brushed over, and you like compared it to like corporations, like the cigarette companies, like saying like, well, we don't want them to smoke that much. It's for like leisure, you know what I mean? So it's not our fault they have cancer. So it's like the same thing the gun companies are doing. So it's all the deflecting, making us seem like the bad guys. They're not the bad guys. They're just giving us what we want, and we'll go away scot free. So once again, big company.
Yeah. When I say that it's all tied together, it's also a societal problem. Like that's what I'm talking about. We hear it all the time on the show. We try to point out, but like that's it. Like we're constantly talking about the pardons and the downplaying of white collar crime. These companies provide weapons that kill more children than anything else in the United States of America. That's what they create. They create a product that kills more children than anything else, and it's not close. Like it's not close. There is no cancer, there is no car accident, there is nothing that comes close to what guns do to children in this country. And yet, the gun machines, the people who make the machines, the Lockheed Martins, the, I don't know, the usual suspects, they go without any consequence and will continue to go without consequence. And they lobby hard to keep their story. Immediately after the shooting, you can go online anywhere and find a bunch of paid bots and true blue believers out there making sure that everybody knows that this is not about guns. This is not about guns. Um, but like to say that a shooting is not about guns is just ignoring probably the biggest factor in it. And yeah, it can be about mental health too, right? It can be about two things. Um, but you have to first ensure that you're not just handing these things out like fucking toilet paper, right? It's not like that's just common sense. Common sense.
I
And what a
just, you only have two hands. You know what I mean? Like at a bare minimum, like what do you need an arsenal for? You have two hands.
right. Exactly. Exactly. And this idea too, like this paranoid delusion, it was definitely a bot, but I engaged an argument uh initially to find out that it was a bot. But the idea was is that like, somehow guns make you safer. And I just want to reiterate early and often that is statistically false. Decades and decades of research show that you are far more likely to be shot dead carrying a weapon than you are when you are not. And if you are in any way, especially if you're like, if you're worried about the police, my God, you may as well just fucking shoot yourself because you're giving them the reason that they need to fucking fill you full of holes. The idea that it's about protection to me it's a pretty flimsy argument. I don't know if you want to make an argument for like home use or home defense, Brad, because I'm not going to do it. I think it's just dangerous altogether, and it's just like the benefits do not outweigh the risks in any way, in my mind. But
Yeah, as you know, I believe you should be. I believe that you should be allowed to own firearms. I just feel like there's no reason that you shouldn't have to be thoroughly background checked to own them, and there shouldn't be a limit on the guns you can have, and there shouldn't be a limit on the you know what I mean. Like there should be a lot of rules in place. I don't
yeah,
need anything more than my single pistol for home defense
yeah,
and the ammunition that I have currently. Like I know people that have bullet makers in their basement. I'm certain that I know people that have a round of ammunition for every person in the state. You know what I mean? I know people that are way obnoxious with this.
yeah,
And that's excessive. Like I don't we've already learned that those people actually aren't going to stand up to a tyrannical government. So probably just go ahead and handle that shit back because you guys are cowards. So stop pretending like you're going to shoot it out with the fucking government.
I
But I do believe that people should have the right to be vetted and allowed to own guns for home defense.
yeah, I don't mind it if it's careful and calculated. Like it's not in my world, I wouldn't have it. You know what I mean? Like if it was
Sure.
but I don't live in that. I live in a democracy, and there are people who believe that they should and can and like to hunt and whatever, and even calling animals is necessary. But I believe that if you think that you need a bullet for every person in the state, you don't deserve you shouldn't have a gun. Like you just disqualified yourself. You should not
Yeah,
have
you don't need
a
that.
gun. You shouldn't have a
You don't
gun,
need it. Excess.
right? I mean, that's about as disqualifying as it comes. If you think that you could stand up to the US government with your AK-47, you do not deserve an AK-47.
Yeah, that's not how you're gonna fucking
You
get the
don't
government money.
need one.
No, there's
There's
nothing.
no zombie apocalypse coming. Sorry to disappoint you. It's not happening.
And what
Ugh.
happens? What happens in every zombie apocalypse? You run out of bullets for this fucking thing so fast, you end up with a baseball bat with a piece of window tied to it,
Yeah, they
swinging it
just
around.
attract more zombies. The guns
Right.
attract
The
more
guns,
zombies.
yeah, you just make it worse. You don't even need, even in that situation, it's useless. Utterly useless. So gun laws, in Australia were much tighter. So people were very surprised to see the Bondi Beach thing because Australia has notoriously stringent gun regulations. Um, and even without like other reasons, you could just point to the fact that there have only been 35 shootings in the giant continent of Australia this year, as opposed to the 389 on our continent this year, or not even our continent, our country this year. Um, but let's entertain the fact that this did happen in Australia. And what has been happening quite a bit is these same billionaire gun lobbies have been pushing their weapons on Australia. Guns have been coming in at something like a rate of increased rate of like 2,000 per week, I think it was, week, month. I accidentally closed out of that article. God damn it. Give me 1 second. Uh, all right, so there has been growing concern among gun control advocates. This is from The Guardian. The firearms remain far too easy to access despite the country's gold standard framework. They've been warning of this complacency, pointing to the booming gun numbers and weaknesses across state and territory laws that can be easily exploited. 3D printed weapons, and Australia has a growing sovereign citizen movement. You all know what that is? Sovereign citizen, you ever seen that?
Yeah, they do it here.
Yeah, if you ever watch like court TV, like sometimes you'll see somebody go in and be like, "I'm a sovereign citizen of this country," so meaning they're not subject to the laws of this country, they think. Yeah.
It never works out for them, but they think it.
Yes, they think it real hard. I'd say that's like a real problem we have as like a human race that people want to uh, think that their beliefs are reality, and that just because you believe something doesn't make it so. Yeah,
Yes, dude. I wish more people understood that.
I do too.
Just because
Boy,
your big feelings get in the way of reality does not mean that we can have a dictator for president.
I know it's hard. I know it's hard that you have to get along with other people and make rules that you might not like, but sometimes so one of these days you have to put away those diapers, stop shitting yourself, grow up and be an adult. So yeah, that's those are some of the things. I'm missing the number. The registered firearms, here we are, have exploded since 2004 even. But at least 2,000 two firearms have been lawfully entered the community every week. Um, so this is something that has been happening. And so like even in this instance, before like the it's not about the guns, look at all the gun laws. Before you get there, statistically speaking, this one also supports the idea that gun laws and gun restrictions do help prevent shootings because it was in correlation to this rise in guns that this gun violence happens. That's the backdrop, is all I'm saying.
Is that not mathematically? Is that not a million guns a year, or is it 100,000 guns a year?
2,000 walls every week, 52
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Is it
lot.
100,000?
100,000, I think, would be correct.
Yeah, 104,000. Okay. Either way, 100,000 guns a year coming into the country. 100,000 guns a year.
Yeah. Yep. So it's not that just like here in the United States, like it's not only about the laws that you make, it's about the laws and how you enforce them too, which you consider to be important. Like there are laws that say that you shouldn't be allowed to be a pedophile, but here in the United States, we elect your president and give you an airplane.
In John's opinion. That's
It,
how I learned that's how we don't get sued, is if we say in our opinion.
oh, in my opinion, yes. Okay. Fucking sue me. I don't give a shit. But sue me to prove that you're not a pedophile.
That's true.
I say go for it.
That's true.
The rest of it is my opinion. Anything else outside of that, my opinion. I don't want to go to court. I really don't. I've had enough of that in my lifetime. Thank you. Please and thank you. Um, let's talk about the hero in Australia before we talk about anything else. So, contrary to popular belief, the hero is not always a good guy with a gun. Sometimes he's a good guy without a gun. Um, if I can find it.
Oh! C'est un malade. Oh mon gros! Oh. Ouais, mais il y a son pote,
This gentleman's name is Ahmed Al Ahmed. He's a 43-year-old married father of two, and he raced in to help. We understand. Apparently owns a fruit shop in Sutherland. No experience with guns. He was just walking past. We are told that he has two bullets in his arm, but they think he's going to be okay. And in the next hour, let's have a listen to the hero's relatives talking about his acts this evening at Bondi Beach.
Still, he's in the hospital, and we don't know exactly what's going inside. But they said the doctor he's very okay, and next 2 hours they let us to go in and see Ahmed because he's still inside and he do the operation. But we hope he will be fine. He's a hero, 100%. He's a hero because what we see on the social media, he's like is 100% hero.
110% for sure.
I actually think that he was shot by another guy, not the person that he wrestled the gun away from. There was another guy
Correct.
shooting from above, like to the right there, and
Mhm.
that's who was
Right.
shooting him.
Shot him twice. And if by all accounts he is recovering. Um, so that's great news as well. Um, but yeah, it's that was just super heroic. And the crazy part about this is like the flood of the uh Islamophobia was quick because this was clearly an anti-Semitic attack. They targeted only that party full of Jewish people. They targeted the children. They targeted everybody in there. They weren't firing at bystanders. They were not firing willy-nilly. They were firing into that crowd on purpose. That was the target of their attack. There is no dispute in that fact. Um, but even one of the shooters, it appears, though not 100% confirmed outside of social media, appears to have been a former member of the IDF. So you just never know the true motives of these shooters beforehand. It is easy to assume that this was an anti-Semitic attack, but that there were Islamic people or from Iran, as the government of Israel decided was necessary to say, uh, is just irresponsible and does nothing but continue a cycle of hate. And they'd be quick to tell you the opposite when it comes to bombing children, you know. But when it comes to this act of violence, they just couldn't wait, could not wait to make this about them instead about the families who got shot up, which is just on brand but disgusting.
Very on brand.
Yeah. So, yeah, obviously everything Benjamin Netanyahu, all he knows how to say, that whole group is Iran, Hamas. I don't even think they listen to the end of the question anymore. They just have been spitting that out for 20 or 30 years. And I'm sure
Just rolls off the tongue easy for him.
it does. They're building a nuclear weapon. Okay. So, I don't know if that was Netanyahu or Count Chocula, but either way. Um, yeah, so this whole thing is tragic. These things are preventable. Gun laws do help, especially when they're properly enforced. We need to do better because this is not the way that anyone should have to live, let alone all these kids. You got these kids who've lived through all these traumas in the United States of America that have to relive them every every time they enter a fucking school or a church or a mosque or a synagogue or a grocery store. The fuck? It's not it's not correct. I mean, it was even just talking to people from who are not from here, not from this country. Like it's so odd to them to see this kind of insanity on such a regular basis. This just doesn't happen anywhere else. This is uniquely American, uniquely
My
United Statian.
This has never been a lived event for my daughter outside of what she's seen on the news or what the drills that they practice in school. But it is a very real fear of my daughter's that someone could come into her school and try and hurt her. That's a very real fear that my daughter has.
It's traumatizing, I think, to me. I mean, you guys correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I would think that even just to have to go through shooter drill training would be pretty traumatizing.
Yeah.
We know what fucking nuclear attack training did to the boomers. They're fucked up forever. Them and Gen X, my God, they're forever fucked up. And then I mean that never even happened. Imagine these things actually happen all the time. So it's got to take a toll.
Yeah, they were just playing pretend. This is real life for these
This is real
kids.
life. Yeah, this actually happens. Like if there's a nuclear attack, everybody is going. They should have just fucking never talked about it. I mean, if that happens, well, it's been nice knowing you. You know what I mean? Like that's it. It's not like you know, fire your AK-47 at it. Tell me how it works out for you. Um, yeah, I don't know. Jake, are you old enough to, or young enough, I guess, to have gone through school shooter drills while you were in school?
We have invaders. They never called it shooters. They would do invader training where we'd have to barricade the door and then hide, but we was never like scary enough where we had to leave the classroom. A lot of them are now into safe zones and like safe areas, depending on like where they know the shooter is. There's like a whole they do a whole thing now where they'll have like all the doors will be labeled and they'll know which door they're at, which ones to avoid, where to go, and everything of that sort. There's doors now that help prevent being broken open. Like there's a lot more to it than there was when I was in school.
And that's good. There's only it's a very partial answer though, obviously.
Mhm.
Brad, how often do your kids have to do these trainings?
So I think that my kids do them twice a year. Um, we don't do them at the school that I am at. But my kids at their school, they do it. And I think it's twice a year. The same, like, it's just the same as like a fire drill to them or like a tornado drill or whatever drill they're practicing. That's just become incorporated into their life now, apparently. That's something we have to teach our kids.
Nope. Nope, I don't like that. I don't.
I don't love it
I
either,
don't.
John. I do
I
not
don't.
love it.
It's just gross. Doesn't have to be that way. All right. Since I brought it up, Israel is still bombing, heavy bombing, just hours ago in Gaza. I mean, it is so sad. There's nothing left in there but children. Um, they confirmed the Israeli military with pride that the 420 persons have been killed in Lebanon during that ceasefire. They called them all terrorists, but obviously their track record leaves something to be desired. Um, the uh, in Syria, some National Guardsmen were killed. The initial reports were that they were killed by random terrorist groups. In reality, they were killed by close compatriots of the chief of the transitional government there, the 9/11 terrorist who Trump recently had to the White House to spray his cologne on and talk nonsense to. So he is like 2 degrees of responsibility away from the murder of two National Guardsmen after already holding responsibility for the deaths of countless Americans as a member of Al Qaeda for years and ISIS. And to me, it's just crazy that how fast they moved to like bury the story. And first of all, the National Guard still being deployed to outside of this country is another leftover of the Iraq War that needs to fucking go. You do not sign up to the National Guard to serve overseas. That's just not the way it's supposed to be. You're the National Guard. You are there to, help, flood relief. You know what I mean? Like that's what you're literally there for. You're not there to be shot at in Syria for fuck's sakes.
Right.
So just another tragedy there. I mentioned this two service members.
My question is, why don't we use the National Guard to build homes and then lower the housing market by using our national? Oh man.
Because capitalism is the only way, Brad. And if these people, if you start building homes for people, what will be their motivation to go to their job at Taco Bell? If you
Right.
start,
They're like, we need
if they
more.
have a warm place to sleep, you really think they're gonna want to make your burrito?
They're like, we need more blue collar workers, and then they're like, actually, National Guard, go practice blowing shit up.
Yep. Yep. Y'all gonna stay poor, stay fighting wars. That's how it's gonna be. I
So
mean,
easy.
you could not fight wars. That's cool. I mean, you won't have health insurance, but it's cool. We got health insurance here in the military. Boy, do we.
Man, that's what I'm saying. They'd make it, all they have to do is train them all with blue collar positions, make them like, oh my gosh, it's so easy. It would be so, bro, I'd turn the fucking national debt around in a week and a half. A week and a half.
It doesn't just have to be blue collar jobs either. You could just invest in nurses and teachers and professors, engineers, scientists. I mean, you really could just make universities free and watch the fucking money flow into this country. But like, no, 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 no. People do not understand what an investment is unless it's in the stock market. Because in capitalism, only investment is stock market. Investment in person is no investment, it's spending.
Right.
Yep. I mean, that's basically it. If it's not for the sake of making more capital, it does not exist. All right.
Also, back to the Israel thing real quick.
Yeah, yeah, we're
You
gonna
should
stay here
just
for a sec.
you should just take a clip out of this where it's and in new news, Israel's bombing kids. And you should just play it on every single episode because every single episode, it just so happens that Israel's bombing fucking kids.
Yeah, yeah. I know you could probably make a supercut of me talking about how what a fuck nut Israel is.
We get a full length TikTok of you just Israel's killing innocent civilians.
Yep. Children dead, children dead, children dead. Every goddamn day. That's all they do. They are ruthless, brutal murderers. They're the worst terrorists. Everything that they talked about, the terrorists that we were supposed to be afraid of after 9/11, they are that. They're every bit of that and worse. Jake, put up the Israel-Syria stuff. So Israel has been bombing Damascus, and Syria just got their independence back from a brutal dictator. So Israel is now going to deny Jordan its peace treaty guaranteed water. The country of Jordan. Go ahead and give me the next one, Jake. So Israel's newspapers, this is Israel telling on itself again, reported that Israel has informed Jordan that it does not intend to deliver its annual water share stipulated in the peace agreement, estimated around 50 million cubic meters. This single line from the Mariv is a perfect summary of what peace with all Israel ultimately delivers. Even those who go out of their way to protect it. You will recall that Jordan did just recently defend Israel from Iran's retaliation after the bombing of Iran by, you know, us. Also, they've blocked bombs from Yemen, Iraq. And so this is, as it says, now it receives a reward, a quiet message from Tel Aviv that even treaty guaranteed water will not be delivered. Um, so once again, they demonstrate that the agreements are tools of convenience. I agree with that. Until they no longer serve its strategic appetite. And this is why they're pushing deeper into southern Syria, grabbing more land, securing more springs, and tightening its grip over the water systems feeding both Syria and Jordan. What is happening there is not random expansion, it's a long-term plan to dominate the region's most critical resource. And Lebanon is next in that logic. And as I just mentioned, Lebanon has been being bombed nonstop during their ceasefire. The same pressure that drives Israeli strategy that drives Israeli pressure on the Tani River and the border highlands is the same strategy now unfolding in Syria, with Jordan's water share to control the water in the region. This is what Israel wants, as long as we plan to push deeper into southern Lebanon and all the way up the river. So pushing into southern Lebanon, pushing into Syria, and here's a map. This is helpful for me because I don't ever know where things are. But as you can see, Israel, Syria, Jordan, Lebanon. Uh, they are pushing them back from the river, trying to take all of the excess, trying to own all the water. And these are the areas where they have been bombing in Syria and Lebanon, um, nonstop, nonstop. And also you'll see the West Bank there, the Jordan are victims of this, or potential victims of this water uh, blockade, if you will. So yeah, just it can't be overstated how fucking diabolically evil this country is. Just diabolically evil. I don't I don't think you can make an argument for it needing to exist that I would listen to. I just don't think you could. All right. Let's go to let's talk about the Tate brothers real quick. So the Tate brothers, as we reported a long time ago, snuck their way into the United States despite a travel ban that was holding them in Romania for a long time because of human trafficking accusations, um, and a plethora of other investigations. Andrew Tate has been accused of raping a 15-year-old girl. I mean, they're just disgusting human beings, misogynist pigs who talk openly about most of this shit on their podcast. And they are also best friends with the president's youngest son, Melania's cyborg, Baron. And yeah, that.
I like my suitcase.
So
Baron.
yeah, I just want to. There was speculation in earlier episodes as to whether Baron might catch a little, you know, lefty pussy at NYU and have a change of heart. And I want to say that the answer is emphatically no. Um, listening to the Tate brothers, he will likely never get laid without having to pay for it. Um, so yeah, I don't think he's headed down that path at all. But they are on their way to freedoms that they never thought they could have because of this friendship. Just worked out better than they could have thought of. Uh, because they definitely are guilty of crimes in Romania, and probably here and in the UK, and none of those things are going to happen now. They're just here going to UFC fights with the boys.
Yeah. Because when you said they snuck in, what you really meant was Donnie was like, "Hey guys, come on over."
Yeah, somebody met him at the airport. It might have been Rubio. Like they, oh, no, they flew into Florida. So like I remember, yeah, they asked DeSantis about it, and he was like, "Wow, I don't like it, but they're here," you know, because everybody gives into that fucking bloated piece of shit. Um, who today like broke his silence after like 15 hours. So I just like so the man goes on rampages, disappears now. He does this for like almost an entire day. He's done this a couple of times. Um, I guess my question to you guys is he smoking meth?
He's probably not smoking it, but Buford T. Justice. But he's definitely that's probably what the mark is on his hand is from the IV.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say from roping and lassoing,
Oh,
riding the dusty trail.
well, we're gonna round up the daggum immigrants.
Yeehaw. Oh my God.
He looks like Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
That's what it is. Oh shit.
Doug Dimmadome.
I wish you would have thought of that before the show started. I would have had a picture ready.
He was a Doug Dimmadome trying to sell whale blubber. If you remember.
No. Yeah. That's our very unserious president. And that's like this man just went on like a rant about snakes during a speech, a holiday speech. I don't know how people sit there and listen to him for a whole I can't even like the whole clip is too long. The whole clip is too long. Um, but he says the dumbest fucking shit, and people just sit there and listen. He tells these really long and boring stories. But then he disappears for approximately the length of time it takes to crash out from, a lot of uppers, take a heavy nap, wake the fuck back up and do it for another 2 weeks. I'm just like I'm just recognizing a pattern here, okay, in my opinion. Uh that is it's akin to drug use. Uh,
Yeah, one thing I know about is that,
great. I
and I know that that crash out is a good one.
It's a motherfucker. 15 hours is perfect though. It's just right. You don't want it all out of your system. That's a motherfucker. You got to wake up in time to get something in you. Uh,
So I haven't seen this yet, but I just know it's gonna be some ignorant.
yep. Yeah, it is. It is ignorant. And if any other person like this would be like, you'd be like, I can't impeach him now, but it's just something else that he said.
And Brown University, great school, great, really one of the greatest schools anywhere in the world. Things can happen. So to the 9 injured, get well fast, and to the families of those 2 that are no longer with us, I pay my deepest regards and respects from the United States of America. Thank you very much. It's a very important thing to.
Things can happen. Just
Things
want
can
you,
happen.
just want you to know that. I know your family member is dead, but I just want you to let you know. First of all, that Brown University is great. That's the first fact that I want you to know.
Oh, I didn't know it was a good school. Is it like an Ivy League?
Well, Jake,
You know they're fucking turning out woke kids left and right up there with one of the highest levels of education. He hates it.
he hates, I mean, also the name, it's in the name. Bull,
He's not a fan.
not a fan,
He said it nice there next.
for sure. He got done. He was like, wait, Brown.
Yeah, he's like, hang on a second. Christy, what's this brown?
Yeah. Why haven't we deported this university yet? Why are they still here? Somebody bring me my fucking injection. Allegedly, in my opinion. Um, yeah. Also, he's like obsessed with these restoration projects. And it turns out there are rules. You can't just demolish the White House and rebuild something of like a that's shaped like your head, or whatever. You can't erect a statue of yourself outside the White House without consulting somebody. And the people whose business it is in DC to take care of those things, the Historical Society and whatnot, have sued Donald Trump over the construction of the White House and asked it to be paused, which already done because it's a Donald Trump project. So it got halfway done. People probably found out they weren't getting paid, in my opinion, and they decided to. The job has just gone quiet. Nothing's happening. He has no architect that's willing to build something that's 5 times the size of the original building or whatever he wants it to be. But also he wants to concentrate on a Arc de Triomphe, which again I assume he means arch. I'm thinking he doesn't mean a giant boat, because he does keep comparing it to the one in Paris, the Arc de Trump, and it is going to be within sight of the other monuments in the city, and near, of all things, the Arlington Cemetery, where he is historically disrespected in ways that no other human being on the planet has ever done. So, it's just this man is complete and utter garbage, and the sooner his legacy is dead, the better. Like, not just
Yes, I
him.
would like this to be a blip in American history where we just kind of we let it get away from us for a second, guys. Let's reel it back in
I'd
and
love to
get down to
think
real life issues.
Yeah, I'd love to think this is what like shoots us off into a completely different direction, but like there's so many people out here viciously fighting for the status quo to be returned that I just don't know that we ever get there.
I'm hoping it's like a slingshot to where we just pulled it back too far, and now it'll launch us into progressive ideas. That's what I'm hoping for. That's my plan.
I hope so. Can I throw a little cold water on that? We have
Sure, make me sad.
yeah, I'll make you sad. So we are apparently not to be confused with the other What's Left podcast, um, because there is a What's Left podcast. So from now on, and I guess since forever, we are the
Whoa. Wait, their names was left?
yes, they are we are the What's Left podcast. These bozos are imposters, centrist in
When
disguise.
when did they start? After us?
No, I think they've started before us. Um,
No,
No, nope. Erase the footage.
I just set in our trademark right now.
yeah. Um, the What's Left podcast. There's a man with a mustache. Um, they shouldn't have one. Also,
Yeah.
yeah. She makes one of the worst arguments. She makes the argument that centrists make that lefties are too woke and we need to stop being wokey or we're going to lose elections. We need to learn to just get along with people who we share common enemy. And like the thing is like you can't build a whole identity off of just hating Donald Trump. I mean, you can, but it makes you a pretty hollow loser at the end of the day. You end up looking like Hakeem Jeffries. We're like, will you impeach him? Impeach him? What would I talk about? Like, oh, well, he would have no fucking political identity without a Donald Trump. And that is a huge fucking problem. And that show, they have no identity. I don't know anything about them. I'm actually not. But I found that clip. I found it to be fucking stomach curdlingly milk toast boring and just awful. And to have a similar name to ours, Jesus fucking Christ. That's not what's
That's
left. That's definitely not left.
no, not at all. It's just very centrist, which is what we need to eliminate.
Exactly. These are people trying to suck people into this fucking centrist machine from the
It's
left,
not
which
it's not woke at all to be like people should be allowed to freely exist. And they're like, you fucking crazy motherfuckers
you're drawing
out
too
here.
hard a line, okay? You have to be willing to give up some people for the greater good, okay? Like some people don't matter that much.
That's their argument. If they like stop and break it down for a second, their argument is, well, actually, some people
That's
don't
it.
deserve
No
to
matter how
exist.
many, that is such a long clip. It's like 2 minutes long, but it feels like a day of listening. But that is the whole point. Is like, so what do you say? Like, what is your only solution? The only solution that you could possibly be suggesting is that somebody has to be left behind, and that is unacceptable in every fucking way. It is.
Unless you're saying
Okay.
billionaires.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that they are well funded. I'm sure they are fucking well funded.
Yeah, they should make podcast equipment more expensive.
It's the worst argument. I hate that argument. You cannot gatekeep information. That's not the way this works. It doesn't help. It's not helpful. It's the complete opposite plays right into the hands of billionaires. You said that just to get me on a rant. All right.
Hey, can we pause for 1 second, please?
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. All right, I'm back. Got water. You'll notice that there was no interruption for commercials for sponsors. That's because we don't have any. We are completely funded and supported by ourselves and occasionally you, and we appreciate all the help that we do get. You can sign up for a paid subscription on Substack to help. You can buy a t-shirt on derealizationnation.com. But all of our content is and always will be free, and we do not take money from fucking corporations because they are the goddamn problem, and I don't goddamn want it. We are getting closer and closer with subscribers too, so thank you for that. Soon, you may see commercials on some of our clips, and I want you to know, don't buy that shit either. Don't buy it. We're not fucking for it. I don't give a rat's ass. Uh, we don't want that. Don't buy it. Anyway, whatever it is, stop buying it. All right, let's get back to it, guys. Let's talk about the tour, the grand tour. We usually talk about a conspiracy on Sunday, so let's talk about Erika Kirk, Candace Owens, and the tour de force, the great book tour, the great book tourington of 2025. Erika Kirk showed up on Barry Weiss's CBS to talk to her about things. Um, and it went not so well. I don't know. These nobody I don't think could have possibly watched the entire thing. Um, but some of the gaslighting included stuff like this.
Charlie didn't care what skin color you were.
Sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
Like, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
When blacks in America did not have the same rights they had today, they were less murderous, there was less break-ins.
Remember what BLM stands for: burn, loot, and murder.
Yeah, DEI stands for
one of the biggest.
didn't earn it, just so we're clear.
A certain skin color now gets their own summertime celebration. Oh wow, look how far blacks have come. It has now become a racial complaining day.
Charlie didn't care what skin color you were.
You sure about that?
Yeah. Are you sure about that?
I like can't fathom when people tell me, well, you're taking it out of context. Brother, what context?
He
Okay.
gave us the context. He was very open about all this shit. He went to campuses to talk about the hate that he spewed.
Exactly. You can't make a montage. I'll wait. Go out there, make me a montage about all the loving things that Charlie Kirk said about black people. I'll wait. Like I'll be here. I mean, not for much longer. Like I've probably got maybe 30 years left on this earth, so you're gonna have to like get to work, like clipping individual letters together to try to make something happen. Because he didn't say a goddamn nice thing about anybody who wasn't white. Period. It just didn't. He's a piece of shit. Okay. Um. Yeah, and his wife is not any better. His wife scares me. I'm not gonna lie. She's like got the evil eye. The
The
Maloch
psycho eye.
for real. It's just a little snippet for anybody who hasn't seen them. Um, I don't know what this is
No, of
doing.
course. But we serve a just God. And I rest easy in knowing that. He's sovereign, but he's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
I'm not sure if I'm scared or turned on.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I can't be part of that. But it's crazy how she says that. Like almost like Charlie's death was like a just thing God would do. Because love thy neighbor, do not use his name in vain. What was Charlie doing for his entire campaign?
Yeah.
Using the Lord as a shield to spew his own hate
Yes.
and preachings.
We're talking about this.
So these Christians need to check the Bible again, I think. They need to reread what they never read beyond the little app that they get that tells them one line of the Bible a day.
Have someone read to them.
Right.
Well, listen, it's the misunderstanding of what it means to take God's name in vain in the first place, right? Like it doesn't mean like saying God damn it or Jesus fuck. Like that's not what that means. Like using God's name in vain means like using God's name to justify a genocide. Like that's using God's name in vain. But anyway, a Bible lesson for another day. That's because whatever she's selling is not the Bible. It's a book called Stop in the name the name of God or Jesus or some shit. I don't know. Whatever you do, don't fucking buy it. All right? You don't need it. There's nothing in there that's interesting. She also did this weird thing on Fox News.
It's those little things where, again, he would walk through the door, drop his bags, daddy's home, take his phone, Friday night, Shabbat Shalom, throw it in the junk drawer, and it was just all us.
Shabbat what now? So he was Jewish, and then here's the thing: like, what's easily debunkable is to go and look and see how many times Charlie Kirk was up all night on a Friday tweeting, and it's all of them. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not all of them, but
But they debunked it so fast.
yeah. Of course he didn't put his phone away. what a weird thing to say. What a weird, oddly specific thing to say.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, is Candace Owens a nut job? Yes. Is she exposing some weird inconsistencies in the story provided to us by the FBI? Also, yes. If my wife was murdered, I would want to know every detail of truth. Please.
Would you leave your kids to go on a book tour as well, or would you stay home and maybe grieve the loss of your loved one? That's my question.
Of all the stupid conservative talking points about women in the workplace, like, shouldn't you be home with your kids? Like, you're a CEO. You don't have to go to work. You are choosing to at a moment where, like, FMLA should, like, cover your time off. Like, in a normal world, like, you would just get time off because you had your fucking spouse died. Like, you would get paid time off if this was, not a fucking uh hellhole, but it is. Um, but yeah, so yeah, no, it's a fair question. It's a fair question in general why she's even taking the job. Like, Charlie, along with never saying anything that wasn't racist, also never said anything encouraging about women having careers. All these Republican women do it though. They're all out here like, you shouldn't have a career. I have a career, but like you shouldn't.
I just also brought that up because they're always like, what about the kids? And like they're all that's like one of their hugest things is like those poor kids. Well, what about those kids right now?
What about those poor kids? Well, she brings them up too. Like, she's like, well, tell that to my 3-year-old kid. I will tell that 3-year-old kid that their father was a racist. Like, I don't care.
Thing is they will know because when they grow up to be old enough to comprehend, they can
Yeah,
see the videos of him
exactly. And they will
saying
not
it.
be able to find that video of
Right.
him saying the nice thing because it doesn't fucking exist. It doesn't
Right.
fucking
It
exist.
doesn't exist.
So,
When it
like,
does not exist.
I don't know. Probably the hardest show we ever did was after that shooting, having to talk about this shit because he's like going into that world is soul darkening. So if you listen to Charlie Kirk on a regular basis, like, I'm not surprised that you're like a little bit brainwashed or a little bit fucking, because like, you if you live in that filth every day, like, you probably lost a piece of your soul. Like, there's like it took the life out of all three of us just to have to do that. And it's good that it was over, but like, it's important too because we are not going to sit here and live in this alternate fucking reality where Charlie Kirk is some kind of goddamn civil rights activist or hero or whatever the fuck moniker you want to put beside his name that isn't a racist monster. Okay? We're not here. Maybe the other What's Left podcast will do that for you.
What do you say to people who justified his death?
You think he deserved that? Tell that to my 3-year-old daughter.
So your dad.
The TikToks are fantastic. Um,
Mhm.
but nobody is saying that he deserved it. In fact, the people who were saying that nobody deserves this over and over again were the ones that he was shouting down, right? It's been reminded. So other people aren't reminding people, but like, I'm gonna say it again. He died blaming gun violence on gangs, on people of color, and was shot at Mayonnaise University in Milquetoast, Utah, among a bunch of Wonder Bread white loaf motherfuckers. All right. So even if the kid who they got in the one who it was fucking some King's Hawaiian fucking centerpiece, okay? Like, there was no fucking color uh to this thing. All right. So he doesn't deserve it, but uh the irony that he argued with people who would have wanted him protected from this. He argued for his own death, and that's what people were pointing out. He argued for it over and over again. He disparaged people like the people at the top of this episode that we talked about, these kids who've now seen 2 mass shootings. Those specific children were ones that he said, sometimes you have to have tragedy. to justify the Second Amendment. So I guess maybe just for today, Charlie would say that he has justified the Second Amendment. I think the opposite. I think that when Charlie died, I thought the same thing. I think when every fucking shooting happens, and that's why do we need this? What does this benefit? Who is being protected by this gun culture, this insane gun culture that we have? And, I haven't found a sufficient answer or reason to keep it around. And that's just my personal opinion, but that's what it is. All right. It was meant to be a end on a lighter note.
That was not later.
It was not lighter. No, it was the same note we started with, as a matter of fact. You know what? Sometimes it is what it is. That's how it ends. Thank you guys for watching, listening, liking, subscribing. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Thanks for joining and becoming part of the Derealization Nation. It grows every day, and that is fucking amazing to see. We love it so much. We love you guys. But yeah, if you don't follow us already, do it now. Do it now. It's free to do. Like I said, all of our stuff isn't always will be free. You can support the cause by buying a t-shirt at derealizationnation.com or by signing up for a paid subscription on Substack. If you do the year subscription on Substack, I'll absolutely throw you a t-shirt. You can definitely have one. That'd be great. Be happy to have you on board for a year. All right. Other than that, though, until next time, I'm John.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And this is the What's Left podcast.
Bondi Beach is what happens when you make people like Nick Fuentes relevant.